Welcome to the Creepy Metal Podcast.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the Creepy Metal Podcast. I'm Will, and this is
Lisa.
Hey Lisa, how's everything this week?
Oh, everything's stellar, feller. How's it going with you?
Oh man, I tell you what, it has been a crazy week with work. And then, I guess I should tell you, we have a new singer for my band. I will be giving you guys some stuff on that shortly. It is a wonderful person, and you're going to be seeing some stuff from them here in just a little bit. No, I'm not saying if it's male or female. You guys are going to be really excited about this news. We finally pinned down who we wanted, and we're super excited. We're going back to lay down new tracks next Saturday. Yeah, we're super excited about it. Yep. So we got that going on. And let's see what else is going on. Oh, Thanksgiving. So I don't know what anybody's plans are. Are you guys in Radio Land? Hey, tell us what your plans are. We want to know. Are you guys traveling? Are you staying home? What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? I think I might do a family thing. I got invited to a couple of things, but I think I'm just going to go with the old standby with my sister and her husband and some of my family. How about you? What do you got going on this week, Lisa?
I'm going to be hanging out with friends, family, well, friends that I consider family, actually, and my significant other.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm very thankful for a lot of things in my life, and I hope everybody else out there is very thankful and grateful for everything in their life, because we're in the most part we're pretty lucky human beings.
Yeah, we are. I gotta say that. I know I was talking to you kind of off air, and some struggles and stuff I've been having, but you know what? I am grateful. I am 100% grateful I get to do this stuff that I get to do with music and people, and I have my health and my family and my abilities and all that good stuff, because I know there's a lot of people who don't have that, right? There's people who want to sing and they can't for whatever reason, or maybe they don't have the resources that you do or I do. So I think we're both pretty lucky, right?
Absolutely. So sending out a bunch of luck to everybody.
For sure.
You're saying, right?
Exactly. So I guess I got some rock news. Let's talk about this.
I want to talk about that rock news.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go into our creepy part with Ms. Lisa here. So here's something from Loudwire. Stephen Piercy says Motley Crue would not want to follow up Rat on tour. I don't know. I've seen both of these bands. I don't know. I got my opinions on it. What do you think, Lisa? Would Motley Crue would they not want to follow Rat on tour?
Well, I think that's a good combination, actually. I think that's a great combination. Either or could open up for either or. I mean, they're both fantastic, talented musicians and fun to watch and fun to listen to. I think either or, honestly.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you think?
I've seen them both, and I think I'll just save my money and maybe buy another guitar. I've seen them both. That's all I will say. Another new segment here. Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll was accused of Satanism. This is from Loudwire. Apparently, Jelly Roll. He does that rock country hybrid stuff. I think he's pretty talented. I like his stuff. He was accused of being a Satanist. Of course, it doesn't matter who accused him, because I mean, it could literally be anybody, and we really don't care. I don't know. I've listened to his music. I don't see him like that. I see him as somebody, who I guess he reminds me of like almost like a modern Johnny Cash. I don't know if you're familiar with Johnny Cash out there, listeners. I'm sure me and Lisa have, but I always liked Johnny Cash because he had that light side, but he also had a dark side, right? And he had his own battles with addiction and battles with his own faith, and then losing his brother at an early point in his life, caused him to have some doubt, and he always had some guilt about that. So when I've heard Jelly Roll's music and seen some interviews with him, he seems like just like that. He's just a guy. He has a good side. He has a dark side, like we all do. All of us have that. I know I do. He struggles with it. But does that make him a Satanist? No. Just means that he's like everybody else who has struggles that they go through. I don't know. What do you think, Lisa?
Well, I'm just curious as to why somebody would accuse him of this. There's maybe his lyrics went really dark, or maybe his shows might be more on the dark side. I mean, I'm just going to put this out there. There is a lot of that stuff going on. And it's pretty dark. There's some dark things that there really is good versus evil. There really is, and that's just the reality. It's been going on since the beginning of time, and some people are just more out with it than others. As far as their propensity for darkness or light,
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
but I do agree that there is always a duality. You're always like, I'm trying to do the good thing, but oh my God, there's this temptation over here. And to me, what it seems like to me in the world these days is a lot of people have lost their way. A lot of people have succumbed to temptations and instant gratification and the next big thing, or what have you. We're a nation of, we use something once and we're like, we don't want it again. You know what I mean? Like everything's disposable, and there's this veracity for more, and and I think that comes with fame and fortune and things of that nature. You're like, what next can I do, how higher can I get, or this or that, and sometimes it literally gets out of control, and that is my opinion.
Right. I mean, he just seems like a regular guy, and who cares whoever called him a Satanist? I don't know. Who really cares? I'm sure this guy's got Jelly Roll has bigger fish to fry than worry about what some idiot said about him online or whatever. I don't know. I mean, he's in good company. I mean, look at Ozzy Osbourne, right? How many times was he accused of that in his career?
Well, right. Well, the interesting thing about those guys is they kind of did like the music dark because they got attention,
right?
It kind of was more or less theatrical for them, that sort of thing. And then crazy stuff started happening, like the song Black Sabbath was actually about an apparition. I don't recall if it...
That's right, you told me this story. Okay, yeah, bring this up. Now, this doesn't have to do with Jelly Roll, you guys in Radio Land. This is something...
No, it doesn't. It has to do with Black Sabbath, okay?
Tell the story.
Was it... I'm not sure if it was Tony Iommi or Geezer Butler. They were all staying in this castle working on It has to be Masters of Reality, right? Black Sabbath is on
I'm
Masters of
thinking
Reality.
so, yeah.
Not either that one or Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. One of them. I should know this, but oh my god. Anyway, either or. And they were staying at a castle, and they were trying to finish this album, and they were kind of having a rough time. And either Iommi or Butler woke up, and there was a dark apparition at the foot of their bed, and that is, and they wrote the song right there, you know, and it just kind of, and after that song, the album just came to them, like they just like, oh yeah, let's do this song, let's do that song, you know, everything just started to come together for them with that album, because at first they were having a rough time coming up with something, but they were staying at the castle. And then after this incident, apparently, you know, that's the story, you know. And that after that, all of a sudden things got easier. So take that, however, you know. And of course, you know, I always tell people, like, hey, do your own research, and you know, and that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. I think that's pretty interesting how people come up with, you know, certain themes and whatnot. I think what's amazing is that, you know, hey, if there was no Black Sabbath, there would be no, I couldn't do what I do, and I know you couldn't do what you do. So, you know, however they came across it and created what they did, I mean, it's amazing, because none of us would be doing it, because those guys were the originators. There was no, I guess, metal prior to that, so, you know.
No, and the thing is that when Tony Iommi, when his fingertips got damaged,
right, at work, that's right,
at work, right, he had to drop tune, or you know, like, and that made it more doomy, you know, darker.
Right, and he had to put those plastic fingertips on that he made at home.
So that's how, that's how I dub them metal gods, you know. Right.
Yeah. And let's see, on the next front here with some rock news. I'm looking at something from Loudwire regarding Skid Row and their dates they did with Lizzie Hale this past summer. Their other singer, their male singer, I guess he had some health issues. I forgot that guy's name, but I saw them live. Oh my God, that guy is freaking phenomenal.
He is. He's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah, but I think it was something with his throat, but he had some health issues, so he's out. And that is sad, because oh my gosh, I saw him at the Mid-State Fair, and oh geez, like, I mean, he was singing those Sebastian Bach tunes like spot on, and I think he even went a little bit higher on the register.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. I was thinking, Sebastian who?
It's not an easy, huh?
No, and this guy's doing Journey. He's doing, you know, some other higher register songs before, you know, he's not doing anything now, obviously. And so what happened is that Skid Row, this is for earlier this summer. Some of you guys know this. Some of you guys in Radioland may have saw them. Hey, and if you guys saw Skid Row with Lizzie Hale, let us know. Let us know in the notes here. What was your experience? Did you like it? So they had some dates, going back to what we were talking about, and they didn't have a singer. And yeah, I know what that fucking feels like. That kind of sucks. So they asked Lizzie Hale to, like, hey girl, can you help us out for a couple of things? And she did. I guess Hailstorm was on a hiatus for a bit, getting some rest, so she helped him out. From everything I saw, I mean, it was an amazing show. She did awesome. So I saw this here from Loudwire. It says, Rachel Bolan joined Loudwire Nights on Thursday, November 1st, to dive into the Skid Row's brand new run, and also spend a time celebrating the band's new shows with Lizzie Hale. So You still there? So we're talking about Lizzie Hale and Skid Row and all that good fun stuff.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yeah, I just thought it was so interesting, right? And according to Rachel Bolan, the bass player, he quotes and he says, "I knew her work ethic, and I never once was concerned or worried." I think that's something. I mean, that is just something where you find people, regardless of their bands that they're in, they just have a good work ethic, right?
Yeah.
And that was something that, you guys in Radioland, we're going to start our interviews back up with some people, and I think it's important, me and Lisa talk to people that, are talented, but also, hey, are you a good person? Do you have a good work ethic? So we'll be looking at some of that, and we got a guy here that we're going to be talking to in just a little bit. But one of the things that even with you, Lisa, I've only heard positive things about you.
Oh, thank you.
Your work ethic, and that you don't give up, and you're not a quitter, and I mean, that's awesome, because you've been doing this for 2 weeks, right? I mean, 7 years.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think it's important, to follow through, and do what you're gonna say. That's very important, and if more people were like that, like you will,
I try, sister. I try.
Bro, man. I mean, it's not easy, huh? Sometimes you wake up and you're like, I don't want to go to work.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, you guys. Oh my God, you guys. Speaking of that, I had to go to practice and do writing with our new singer, and I got out, and then I had to drive back home. I got 5 hours of sleep, and then I had to be at work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
Yeah, but I do what I got to do, and we all have to. So but yeah, I would say that I am very dedicated, and I think it's good that Rachel Bolan sees that same thing with Lizzie Hale, and it's cool. I think it's cool when you join a project, whatever that is, and the people are awesome. Just awesome people and great players and self-discipline. I don't know, because you play with a couple of bands right now, right, Lisa? And what do you look for when you're about to join a new project or anything like that? Do you look for that self-discipline thing, whatever it happens to be? What do you look for?
Well, first, if I like the project, and then what's really important is you could work with the people. You can talk to them. You can negotiate. There's not a lot of pushback, right? There's a lot of cooperation, and decent feedback that is constructive, one of the things I think is really important with bands are the desire to do better, to be better, to get better, to uplift each other, because sometimes we're our very worst critic.
Oh, hell
and it's right, and it's really nice if people are like, wow, man, those notes you couldn't hit before, shit, you're hitting them now, or wow, man, you really worked on that guitar riff, man, wow, and just always pump each other up, because a lot of times, that's not quite happening, or people just assume you're going to do a great job or what have you because they've seen you play before.
It's totally not happening. I can think of 4 bands right now that we both probably know who are headlining bigger clubs in LA who don't do that. It's all hired guns and all attitude. Yeah, I not going to say nothing, but Yeah, you're right. I don't think that's happening so much. I think that's a shame. You know, I mean, I don't know. I always thought about being a good person, and then getting along, like you said, and then lifting each other up. I think that's so important, but that doesn't happen a lot.
It's very important. I would say that, you know, there are times, right? Let's put this out there. There are times we've like, I don't want to do this anymore, right?
Yeah. That was a couple of weeks ago for me.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. So
drama, guys. Don't worry about it. Lisa knows. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. But the thing is, once again, you know, I look at it this way. Rejection is God's protection, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I definitely do that. And hopefully you guys aren't offended by that. You know, me and Lisa here are both into our faith, and we don't put any man or woman down for if you have faith or you don't. We respect you either way, but for us, you know, we believe in stuff. So, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think, you know, when one door closes, another door opens. I don't think there's any coincidences, if that's what you mean. No, I think everything happens for a reason.
100%. 100%.
Even the bad shit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, and you know, this is something that I've just experienced in my life. I believe that energy will find like energy. I feel we're energetic beings. You know, because energy cannot be destroyed; it can be manipulated. That sort of stuff. Enhanced, decreased, things like that, right? Have you ever noticed, like, you'll walk into a room and just the energy's like, right?
Sure.
And then you're like, I'm not sure I want to be here. Or you'll walk into a room and you'll look around and you'll see somebody laughing and having a good time, and you're like, I want to gravitate over there. Like, you don't want to go and sit next to the person who is, like, looking depressed and looking insecure, unless you feel like going over there and trying to uplift them. But 9 times out of 10, usually they end up bringing you to their level.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I've been in that spot, like this morning when I came to work at 6 a.m. on a Sunday.
God.
Yeah, that was probably me. But I just tried to keep to myself and not bother anybody.
Oh my goodness, you were the depressed one looking down. Nobody bugged you.
You know what? I'm a creature of habit. Are you guys like that out in Radio Land? I don't like change, and so when my schedule changed and it hasn't changed in 2 years, yeah, I kind of, I got a little irritated with that. But it is what it is. The other thing, let's see. Oh yeah, that jelly roll thing. Yeah, so he says this was as a result of being on social media, and I guess he's going to take a break from that. So, which is good. I think everybody, or let me rephrase that. I think for myself, I can't be on social media too long because it's just, oh my gosh. Since we've been doing better with my band, the amount of trolls and haters we've had, oh my god, Lisa, oh my god, like people that we used to know, or people that quit, or people whatever, oh my, just like all of a sudden, now that we're doing better, just haters and trolls, and it's like, oh my god, I can only stand so much of this. Has that ever happened with you or your experience where it's like you start to do good and then all the haters start coming out?
No, I don't have that. I don't really have that problem at all, really. And oh boy, I guess I'm not popular enough, huh?
Oh yeah, you are. Everybody knows who you are. What do you mean?
No, but it's cool. It's cool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I was thinking. Okay, so let's change the subject.
Oh, yeah.
Operation Paperclip.
So
Let's
guys,
do the creepy part.
yeah, let's do the creepy. All right, Lisa, lead it off. What do we got on the creepy end?
Well,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
there's talk around town that extraterrestrials pretty much are walking amongst us and have been doing so for a very long time, have introduced technology into our world and continue to help us on all fronts, and also, continue to harm us on some fronts. So, you got your good and you have your bad.
Yeah,
So,
there's been like 3 congressional hearings, and I don't know if you guys are savvy in this in Radioland, but there have already been 3 congressional hearings regarding UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena. It's not even aerial, because now this stuff seems to go underwater and in the air and in space, and nothing bad happens to the object, right? So, because we can't do that. I mean, the closest thing that we have to something that can go like that would be like those seaplanes, right? That there are planes, but they're not the greatest planes, and you can land them on water and they'll go, but they're not the greatest boats either. So, I mean, we don't have anything like that can go through different landscapes, right? Air, water, and space. We don't have anything like that. Yeah, I know. I remember, what was it? In last year, there was that whistleblower, David Grush, who did the 2nd congressional hearing, and he had talked about not only, being able to talk in a skiff to congressmen and senators about what he had seen, but he had some background on earlier discoveries. And a matter of fact, there was one he talked about in 1932 where a craft had crashed in Italy, and this is right before World War II, right? So can you take it from there?
well, this craft in Italy was found, and it was basically. Are we talking about the bell? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, yeah. I think that was something that came later, but yeah, from what I remember, you guys in Radioland, this is from David Grush and another author. I will put the notes on here when I'm editing this, and you guys can see for yourself where we're getting this information. But apparently, a craft had crashed in 1932 in Italy. I believe Mussolini was in charge at that time, and he was like, okay, this isn't ours. We don't have anything to do with this. 1932, they were still using horse and wagons and whatnot to get things to go where they need to go. So he had called Hitler and said, hey, Holmes, something crashed here. You guys lose something? And the German said, no, 999. That's not ours, brother. And so, but the German said, hey, you mind if we come check that out? And so, Mussolini said, yeah, go ahead. And so the Germans came over, and apparently they had their scientists, big hint, because that's where this is totally going. They had their scientists kind of investigate what was happening with this object, and then the story goes cold. I'm guessing that the Germans took the object. Now, what did they try to do? They probably tried to back engineer it. But here's the thing: at 1932, hell, even now, our physical science, we don't have anything that we can build like that, right? We don't have anything like that. Maybe some 3D printing, but even our 3D printing isn't that great, not compared to these objects and whatnot. So I guess a little bit later, the Germans had designed a bell-shaped craft, Now, nobody knows where the origination of this came from, but I'm guessing something in 1932 in Italy is what inspired this. Yeah. And so then after World War II, some other weird stuff happened. What happened with that, Lisa?
Well, World War II, basically the like I told you, there's the good aliens, there's the bad aliens, okay?
Right.
Allegedly. And the bad aliens exchanged technology,
right,
for humans. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. So, and then now, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on allegedly. We have all this new technology, and it's going to be rolling out pretty soon. They're going to, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to handle the reality of the situation. Has been going on forever. The pyramids were an alien project as well, alien human situation there. The pyramids are like energy centers.
I was listening to Dr. Robert Schock, who's a professor at Boston University, and he was talking about that too. He said he was hypothesizing that, there's something with the pyramids that they're made to function. They're not made as just a monument or a landmark. They actually had a purpose of some type. I did see some of that, and a few other scientists had also said, hey, I think this is something that's supposed to be doing something, not just a monument.
Exactly. So, everybody, do your research, make sure, you check things out. This is, these are, we're not like saying like facts, but we're just like, this is interesting. Come to your own conclusions. But yeah, my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's real, just based upon the amount of whistleblowers that have come forward, and just the evidence is so overwhelming. It's kind of like you got these worms, right? You unscrew the thing and the worms pop out, and you got to put the worms. That's basically what this is, and the government's scrambling, trying to put the worms back in, and it's like, few of them get out.
Right. Now, and I think a lot of this goes back to, at least our American stuff. I think a lot of this also goes back to Operation Paperclip, because I know in the last episode we kind of had teased that might be something we look at. When we're looking at the end of World War II, right? Operation Paperclip was essentially at the end of the war, whatever Nazi scientists were left, the Russians had taken their share of them, and then we had also taken our share of Nazi scientists. One of them was Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi scientist, did horrible things to people, and we made him the head of NASA.
Not sure. Well, I mean, yeah, don't get me started on NASA.
Yeah, NASA's all bad too, but yeah, I was just thinking, wow, okay, and then I think it's interesting in that the Germans were not able to, and maybe because they didn't have the resources. Obviously, towards the end of the war, they did not have the resources when they're trying to fight on several different fronts. But it's interesting in that whatever they had found inspired them to create these rockets, right? And then once they come over to the U.S., we have tons of resources, so they're able to build, the spacecraft that would eventually get, astronauts on the moon and getting us to orbit the planet. I think that's really interesting.
It's very interesting because allegedly the moon is hollow, and it's I don't know. Okay, so it's hollow, and it's
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was I think it was a Chinese orbiting satellite around the moon, and it actually had dropped something down onto the moon, and when it did that, it created this really crazy noise inside the moon. It resonated for like 6 or 7 hours. And so I think that's what you're talking about. And so the scientists kind of hypothesized that shouldn't happen, that no sound should resonate if it's a solid object. So what is going on with the moon? And there's some other creepy stuff too with the moon. There was a couple of there was some Greek. I'm gonna dig this up. Maybe we'll cover this next week, you guys. But there was a Greek story about before the moon was there. Violent weather and all kinds of weirdness that was going on. So yeah, that's also weird. And then here's another weird thing with the moon. The older debris, the older dirt, rocks and all that, that's not at the bottom. All of that is at the top layers of the moon, right? So like for here on Earth, all our older stuff is buried down deep, right? The newer stuff is from the mantle, and you know, you see it when you guys are looking around wherever you're listening to us from. You see the trees outside your window. If you're listening to us right now, you're driving in your car and you see it. That's new stuff. Everything old should be at the bottom, not the other way around. And that is what's happened with the moon. The older stuff is at the top. How does that even happen?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe we'll take a look at that. And there's, I'm starting to remember something else, that a lot of the craters only go to a certain depth.
You know what? What's that guy's name? What's his name? David. Have your listeners research David Wilcox, because
Right, David Wilcox. Yeah, I remember. Right.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, and once the listeners check him out, they're gonna be like, oh my god, you know. But yeah. There's so much we don't know.
Right. Yeah, there's a ton we don't know about the moon. It just acts really odd. And it moves away like an inch every year. I think it's just crazy. A lot of the stuff that we don't know, it's nuts. And then I'm really happy that the government is doing these congressional hearings. I heard that last one with Luis Elizondo. He's one of the former spooks for the CIA and had done some government work, and he headed the UAP task force. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff that just keeps happening. Yeah, but like I said, it all goes back to this stuff that happened with Operation Paperclip, and then before Operation Paperclip, there's the stuff that happened in Italy, and it's just kind of nuts how Now I remember this other story, and I saw this with Bob Lazar. I don't know if you guys who are familiar with Bob Lazar. He was I guess you call him a whistleblower. That's a whole other story too. But if you guys are familiar with Bob Lazar, he worked at Area S4, also called Area 51. So there's Area 51, and apparently there is a smaller base called S4. And this was in like 1980, 1979. And he had done an interview with, was it George Knapp? And kind of whistleblowing that, hey, they're doing stuff there, and they're trying to reverse engineer this and reverse engineer that. And on the Joe Rogan show, I was like 2 years ago, Bob had mentioned to Joe, now this is going to blow your socks, that apparently one of the craft was found in Antarctica, and it was buried at a really deep level.
Yeah. So
that means Antarctica it used to not have ice, but that was millions of years ago. Yes, do the math, you guys at home. You're right. Am I telling you that they found something in the ice that is millions of years old? Yes, I
Yep.
am telling you. Bob Lazar said there is something in there since before the Ice Age, and NASA found it. Or not NASA, but our
Yep.
government found it. Is that some crazy stuff? What do you think, Lisa?
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's so much, so much. They think, it's unfortunate because I feel we're treated like little kids, honestly. Like we can't handle the truth, but actually they don't give us enough credit.
I really don't think anyone would freak out. I really, really don't. I'm about sure nobody's going to freak out. I think we're all ready for it now. Like, okay, yeah, we figured. Yeah, we can't be the only ones. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Especially what we've been put through, all of us, right?
All of us, yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know where they're going with this, but I mean, I think there's just too many whistleblowers, and there's just too much evidence. And I know the government isn't going to admit to it unless they're forced to, but I mean, I think that's why they stay quiet now. They don't even try to deny anything. They're just like, okay, well, all right. They're having congressional hearings about it. We have all these whistleblowers going it. We're just going to shut up.
Exactly. Because there's so much going on. There's so much to distract us away from, all these things that, could really be important, right?
Right. Yeah, totally. And we'll find out. I mean, the new administration's supposed to release some of that. But hell, the last time the guy was in office, he said he was going to release that, and nothing happened. So, I mean, they're all just words, any of these politicians. But maybe he'll keep his word and he'll actually release the stuff. But I from what I understand from these whistleblowers, the presidents don't know shit. They're kind of left in the dark because they're only there for 4 years or 8 years. So I think there's bigger powers at play. It's interesting for sure.
Oh, there definitely is. There's definitely bigger powers at play. Apparently, once again, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I gotta disclaim it. Apparently, there are humans and entities that interact on different planets. There's something interesting. Okay. So you notice how in the world you have people that look vastly different from each other, right? You have your black people, you have your Asians, you have your Caucasians, you have your Hispanics, and we look different, right?
Don't forget your albinos and carnival folk.
Yes, and you yes.
And your
so
hobbits.
We have all different races, right? And that sort, man, woman, that sort of thing. Anyway, apparently, on other planets, the people look very identical to each other. Like, there's not a mix of the way they look. Like, there's not brown, there's not different colors. There's no black. There's not, like they're all like one color.
Wow.
And they all look alike. This is, allegedly, right?
Allegedly. Yeah, we got to stress that, you guys.
So that's why apparently Earth is we are all once again allegedly hybrids of these alien races. And so once again, everybody,
and maybe that's why they can't find the missing link, because our brains evolved really quick over a couple of thousand years. I mean, which it should take a couple of million years for us to evolve to where we are now, but we can't seem to find anything that shows that. we evolved pretty quick, and then we got rid of the Neanderthals and the Denisovans and all the other versions of humans. We got rid of them really quick. So yeah, I would say that, sure. I mean, none of us were here. I mean, here's how I look at it. In 10,000 years, if you look around you, there's not going to be anything that you're looking at that will be around in 10,000 years.
That's it. Yeah, not at all. Like,
and then
here's something funny. I used to work at Trader Joe's, and it has been 10,000 years, but not one person still works there that I worked with.
Well, yeah. And you know, the Earth has been around for what, 3.4 trillion or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, 100,000 years is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. Who knows what was here 100,000 years ago, or we'll say 500,000 years ago. And 500,000 years ago in Earth terms is nothing. It's still a drop in the bucket.
Well, check this out. Check this out, okay? Things are coming to me as I'm talking to you right now. So,
right.
Okay, so allegedly we're in a hologram.
Well, mine sucks. Can somebody stop mine and like have it rewind it, because y'all messed up some shit.
And here's the thing. You can actually change your hologram.
I'd like to.
You just have to have the intuitive knowledge that we actually were born with, right? But everything that has been done to us is to destroy our pineal gland, right?
Did you say penis gland?
Yes, that gland.
The penis gland?
Lame.
Okay, so our glands are messed up.
Pineal. It's considered your third eye, the ability to see through things. Anyway, I digress. This is getting very holistic and very.
Yeah, I think we're going out a little bit out of left field.
We're doing the esoteric. Yeah. Allegedly, this is yeah. But you know what? It's all about this, man. I speak to expand people's minds, you know, and you know, I've done research, and some things, you know, kind of give you pause for thought.
Yeah, you totally kind of hooked me on this Operation Paperclip, and you know, I started delving into it myself, and yeah, I even sent you some things I found, which I thought, wow, how come nobody's looked at this? Because I mean, the dots connect if you just do a little bit of the work.
Right. Well, a lot of people are too busy, surviving in this crappy economy. You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, we're almost done here, guys. Hey, what do you got for your final goodbyes for this episode to our wonderful listening audience? Any words of wisdom or support?
Well, everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a beautiful time with your friends and your family. It doesn't matter what political party you're in. Love each other fiercely. Live each day as if it is your last. You know, celebrate as often as you can. Life is a gift.
For real. And my message to you guys is just love one another, man. Love. Get rid of hate, anger, resentment. Yeah. It doesn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't do anything. Just love and forgive, man. Nobody is perfect. We all are flawed people. And just love, man. Be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you get to do. Be grateful for, like, waking up this morning, man. You know, having 2 pennies to rub together. Gratitude. That's what I'm thinking for you guys this week, man. Anyhow, you guys have an awesome week. We will talk to you in our next episode, which should be next week. And yeah, we'll see you then. All right, say bye, Lisa. Bye.